Hi there, I'm Allie Elliott.
Hi guys, I'm Allie Elliott. Welcome to the stream today. Today will be kind of a short one because I've just got a few things to wrap up. And as I say that, I can feel the jinxing happening that I'm going to find a whole bunch of stuff. But I'd rather find them now than when they come across the judging screen, which is kind of what happened this weekend. And then you can help me figure out if my cat needs glasses because I'm feeling like she does. Okay, so here is Then Sings My Soul. They went through their final competition before district, which is the big guy. And they went through the Texas competition, and I didn't know this when I entered this comp, but it was thumbs up or thumbs down. There was no score. So this one did receive a merit, which would be a score equivalent to at least an 80, and it was unanimous, which is really cool. But the reason I don't like the thumbs up and thumbs down is that it could have unanimously been an 80 and no better than that. So I don't feel like it gives quite the amount of information that a numbers system does. And I felt like there were less challenges, like actual challenges when something is scored and a judge challenges it up or down. Most of what I saw was challenged down. However, this one I was really pumped that it was unanimous because it struggled a little bit in some of the other competitions. So I'm actually going to mostly leave this alone, but I do want to go through and just kind of pixel peek and make sure that there aren't like I have a tendency to leave little lines in there or like sensor dust or something like that. So I'm just going to kind of scan the image. I feel like I'm yelling at you. Does it feel like I'm yelling? I have really bad allergies right now. So let's see here. All looks pretty good. I'm looking at my other screen because for some reason, I think because of my light, there's just a little more to see there. No, clarity looks good, color looks good, texture. No, that looks pretty good. So I'll do one more test, just kind of to make sure nothing's blown, nothing's clipped. Oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about that. So there are some clipped blacks around. That should not be. So where is that? Right along her. Oh, I see. Where is she's tucked in there? Okay, that's not too worrisome. And blowouts, I feel like, are more easily visible. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this one. And I want to make sure that this is the full-size version. I'm not sure what's happening there. That's weird. Okay. So we will save this. So it's not in the final, so it is the full-size version. And then I'm just going to save this right in my district folder. And then I'll go in and resize it from there. Okay, this one, let's see how it did. So it received 2 votes for merit and 3 for non-merit. I'll tell you what, let's table this one for right now, because I want to go to the easy ones first so I can feel like I accomplished something with my life today. Because I want to wrap this up in plenty of time to watch the U.S. men's national team play soccer today. Which I think it's not actually till 7, but sorry. Just in case. It might take me a little while to navigate to my couch. So this one is the first time that it had gone through. All I did was add these ladder shadows, which don't make logical sense to me. But not only was this a unanimous merit, vote, but it was also, it received a Texcellence Award. I don't really know what that is, but I love awards and I will gladly take it and sing its praises. I think that's real similar to Alone. Oh man. Okay, I just started recording, so I hope that I hope that didn't cut off the beginning. But regardless. So this received a Texcellence Award. I think that's like Alone, or what is now Imaging Excellence. So just adding, I mean, it was significant changes, but just adding those shadows did a ton. I am going to go ahead and pixel peek with this one because especially with composites, it's really easy to be so focused on what you're doing that you miss some real obvious mistake, and you definitely don't want to do that. So I'm going to look at my other monitor. I'm actually going to try and look at both because this one's so dark. All right, moon's looking good. That was just the little touch that this image needed, I think. The only picture of stars that I've ever... I'm sorry. Gross. Allergies are on me today. Now, all right. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about that. So if I extend this here, we've got where I didn't match up perfectly. But if I extend this, then this whole thing's gonna widen. But I don't want it to be something that they notice and are not pleased with. So let's try to make this as subtle as possible. And just make it like meant for that to happen. Okay. See, I thought this would be the easy one. This would be home run. But that can't. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I expected. I really thought that would go sideways. And that line is just kind of looks more like a grain. Oh yeah, that worked. Cool. You know what? Let's just flatten. All right, and then we'll go back. Oh yeah, this one is huge. And I think it's probably the base image was the stars. And trying to make that better, I just made it huge. Like we said in art school, if you can't make it good, make it big. If you can't make it big, paint it red. So I've done a lot of large scale artwork in my time. It's not just me, it's everybody. Everybody does that. Oh, I'm sorry, that's gonna be annoying. It's so dry. All right, we'll keep going. Okay. Pretty basic stuff happening here. Not a ton of information, but that could be for or against us. Her rungs, just enough light on them. So my cat this morning was like, she's not actually my cat. Let me correct that. She's my daughter's cat. But I am her financial support. But the cat was like in her little cat apartment that she sleeps in at night, which is like a 3-story thing, and the dog was at the door of the bedroom, which is like 10 feet away or so. But the cat was like stretched through, batting at him, like trying. So I don't know if she has poor depth perception or if she needs cat glasses. I feel like that should probably be a thing. Okay, so I think that when, is that anything? I don't think so. I kind of like the ripple. So whenever we do the next check, which is the levels check, I think we're probably going to run into some maybe questionable seam work in this image. And this will be the chance to clean that up or decide if it's not worth. Because anytime you start cleaning something up, then you're running the risk of creating a different problem. Ooh, that doesn't match up very well. We'll take a closer look at that when we back up a little bit, because I don't really like how that shadow is not connected properly. Okay, so let's look at that first. Yeah, okay, I think we probably need to fix that. So we'll duplicate and make sure we leave space to erase. I gotta block. Okay. And then I've got to block my own face light. Make sure we get those edges. There we go. That is hard to see, but I don't want that ripple kind of. So I'll just get a smaller. There we go. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to erase that back, merge those, and then I'm going to duplicate this again and just kind of. These are the kind of little details that I hadn't been working on with this one because I wasn't sure it was going to be a keeper. And now that it is, and then we'll merge those and grab this corner. Just make sure that that one all cleans up. Okay, so I'm going to flatten those and then we'll do a levels check and send this one down the road and we'll be done with that. One of them, the one that we worked on, if you watched it all last week, and I did a huge redo of the Christmas image, I saw, as soon as it came up on the judging screen, I saw Okay, so you can see where I stitched. You can see the stitching, but it's so deep. That's how far I had to get. I don't think that's going to be a concern. So nothing's blown. Probably some clipped. Oh, not too bad. I'll take it. All right, so I'm going to save that in the district folder. Oh, no, that is a master artist. Okay, and this received a Texcellence award or nod or whatever it is, which is pretty cool. So that was a surprise. That was the dark horse of this comp. And let's see here. Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna do a big redo of this one. This is the one that I saw a million things. Let's see. I don't think there was anything. Let me see. So this one received a vote for Texcellence, but otherwise a unanimous vote for merit. So it didn't receive a Texcellence rating or award. I don't know what it's called. I don't really know what it is, but I will take it. That being said, I don't think there's anything that I need to change about this at this point. So I'm just going to pop this over in the photographic open. Sorry. How is everybody today? Everybody's quiet. Chilling on Sunday. This one, this is absolutely shocking to me. A unanimous vote for merit. It didn't receive any Texcellence votes, but given the fact this was probably my poorest rated image a couple of competitions ago, I'm really happy with it. So let's just pixel peek while we're here, and then we can, so it's definitely got some grain, but it has like a filmy kind of feel, and it's not, I don't think it's detrimental at all to the image. I do want to heal that dress that she's got on. Actually, I don't think it's a dress. I think it's just tulle, but tulle just grabs little pieces of leaves and right. Face looks perfect. Everything looks good there. I don't see repeating patterns that wouldn't naturally be in that kind of fabric. I don't know if this has loan potential. I'm not feeling real optimistic about that, but I am perpetually surprised by what catches the attention of judges on that day. So don't count anything out yet. Ooh, check that edge out. Okay, so definitely want to fix that. That's interesting that nobody's seen that. Uh-oh. Okay, I want to line that up perfectly, and okay. So I'm glad I caught that. I don't know that that's anything that ever would have bothered somebody, but once they notice it, once they latch onto that, you're done. So it looks like where I had a layer that just was just slightly off edge. I just want to match up the ruffles and the changes in the fabric. I don't want anything that's going to distract from what I'm trying to tell them, which is give me a high score. This is one of those sloppy little mistakes that like the smaller competitions can help you see before you kind of waste your time on the bigger ones when it's something, you know, I'm a firm believer in you win or you learn, but to work really hard on something and then see an avoidable mistake is so frustrating. And this little strip along there probably could have sunk this ship pretty quickly if somebody had noticed. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. We had already gone past her face. And I'll make sure and check the other edges closely. Yeah, we've gone through here already. Everything else looks good. And I want to leave some of that raw noise, that natural part of image creation. Okay, that is a very subtle change that likely never would have been seen, but I don't know, sometimes I'm surprised by what the judges spot. And sorry, in both my images and in other creators' images. It's pretty cool, really. All right, so there's 3. And then I've got one more in my photographic open case, which is this one. This is the dark horse for sure. I thought after the first competition I'd trash it. But for the first 2 competitions, there was one judge that just loved it and fought for it. And it received 2 votes for merit and 3 for non-merit. So it's borderline. But if it had received that on the first one, I would have just probably let it go. I've got some things I want to do. You know what? I think I will change what I want to change before going any further. And it's going to start with getting right under. And now I'm going to have to watch what I did in that last one where there's like just a little edge. But I can fix that if I need to. So I want to darken this. And then give it a little of its color back, because darkening to that extent is definitely going to drain its color. Give it the red and give it the gold, maybe not that much. And then I want to erase back on his face. So this, what I'm wanting to do with this is this bright, nobody's mentioned this, but when it comes up in judging, this is what I saw. This is the brightest spot of the image. So this being so bright is drawing your brain, drawing your attention away from where I want you to be, which is in the heart, which is in the musculature, in the face. The shoulder, not a big part of the story. So I'm just going to erase back. And this is one of those things I wish I had done before, because I feel like it's kind of risky now, which is silly a little bit. Nope, see, that's too much even. So I want to keep that color, keep the highlights, keep the shadows. And then I want to get a nice big and try to just keep, maybe go down really far here So that's a pretty substantial switch, but it takes the focus off. Now what we have to decide is if that's too much. I don't think so. I like that. I'm gonna go a little smaller and make sure that we have, goodness, make sure that we have I'm gonna go really small, make sure that little, because I really want this to have depth. Okay, so merge those. That's where we were, and that's where we are now. And then, I'm going to go in and just that's really highlighting that burnt part. I don't know that I want to do that. But what I'll do here is, okay, my exposure's at 9. I've got a nice soft brush here. I just want the musculature to have a little bit of attention. And I want to keep that texture. I love the reflection in his eye. I like the light inside his fingers. With the expression. Okay, and then we can back up, kind of see the progress we've made. It's subtle, but it's important. So I'll go ahead and merge those. The face almost feels too bright. So maybe we just, and this is when it gets dicey when I start leaving. Okay. Get that color back in there. And then I'm just gonna pull these back and get 100%. And then just see how we're feeling about. Don't want any hard edges. So it's too dark right now. So if we go that route, we're gonna have to really make sure that it's lined up. perfectly. Let's see. Okay, it actually looks lined up pretty well. Yeah, okay, I don't see any bumping or anything. Let's just erase. Nope. Okay, I like that. I'm on board. All right, but now I'm gonna go in there because we did a lot. So I'm gonna take a little tiny brush and just highlight. And then dodge one more time for good measure. Yes. Okay, so we're really highlighting the emotion, which I love. No, it just might need somebody to fight for it. Oh, I am on board with this though. So we definitely need to pixel peek here because I took basically the whole image. So there's a really good chance. Yep. All right, rather than even try, I'm going to, oh, see, I flattened it. That's a rookie mistake. I'm gonna go just inside. I wonder if it needs a brighter stroke than that. Let's go in here, pixel peek, right at those edges. I don't see any lines. They were very astute in finding weird little anomalies that I had accidentally left behind. So I can't let that happen. And since I made changes to that today, and this is what I get. I thought this would be a quick, just basically saving into a new a new file and we'd be all set. Okay, let's see. There's some lighter around the back of his head. We'll check when we go large to see if that's haloing really or if it's just kind of where. Now that appears to be sensor dust. So we'll go ahead and okay. Is that sensor dust? It's just my backdrop. Well, just in case. Okay, actually, it's probably just my backdrop. My camera bodies are both really old, but I love them. We've been through a lot together. There he is, up close and personal. Just enough light in his eyes to match. Is that needing to be cleaned up? I don't think so. Look at that rough, raw texture. I love it. Okay, this is backdrop. I just want to make sure there are no lines from where I compress the image in general. Are we, I don't know why it's so close. I went a little overboard. Okay, I keep trying to clone out fuzzies that are actually on my physical monitor. Okay, lots of depth in there. Around here is something that I want to take a look at. I think right there maybe needs to be addressed. So we'll definitely take a look at that. That elbow got cleaned up. Let's see. How do we feel about that? Is that haloing or is that part of the elbow? It depends what angle you're looking at, to be honest. So I'll take a look at that. I don't have a lot of texture in my portraits usually, so this is a different animal that I'm used to, and it's fun to do something out of your norm. See, that's what I've got to decide. Is that haloing or is that normal backdrops? Uh-oh, look. We've got another. Okay, so let's look at all the edges before I do this, because I thought I was being smart. Okay, I don't think it's anywhere but that bottom. So, because I don't want to cut any of, okay, I don't want to cut any of the body of the subject off, so we'll just have to clone, which is fine. All right, so let's do that first. Okay. So we'll go smaller than that. Gosh, I'm just like seeing lines and stuff now. Okay. All right, so the easiest is done first. Okay. All right. And then, so the heart that he's holding, the wooden heart, is a thing in my living room. But it's got a stand on the bottom. And at some point, one of the judges was like, there's something weird going on underneath the heart. And I think it's probably where I took that out. Now that glow probably needs to go as well. So let's take that out for now. And also forever. And then we'll get a little bitty guy. And it's subtle. Like, the fact they even noticed it is impressive, but they weren't wrong. So for this kind of fix, so I want to look down in this area and just make sure, like, I haven't added or taken away any ribs. Actually doesn't look too bad. So the clipped parts are right around his hands. I don't think that's any concern. And then shouldn't be any blown parts. And you can see your brightest parts right there where the viewer will be drawn to first. Exactly where we want to, right into that triangle of light that includes his face, the emotion, his musculature, and the stitched heart. So I don't even know that I want to mess with. Maybe I will. You can kind of see this might be the shadow of the base. So we'll just bring these, I don't know, ribs or whatever. Hi, baby. Bring those. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of hard to see because it's so dark. So I don't want to do too much. I don't want to ruin it. So I'm trying to decide if I even want to do anything at all. Thoughts, opinions. I kind of think I'll leave it. Because it really is not, maybe I should just kind of do this part and that way it's coming down to a point. All right, you convinced me. It's so hard to see though, what's happening. Okay. Do I have, okay, I hope I have an alternative over there for this. Oops. Okay. Here. Yeah. Do you want me to open it? Go put that one up. I'll open this for you. Hang on. I gotta open an orange drink. Oh. Got it? Nope, that's the wrong side. Just take it in the other room and then you can spin it around. Careful. Okay. Okay, here we go. What was I doing just then? Okay, I've got to do that tomorrow. Okay. All right, so, ooh, that's a lot. That's more than I'm willing to commit to. So let's try this. I don't know what that part of the body should even look like, because I've had 6 kids. So, I don't know. I think that's worse. Let's check it out here and see if this. Does that look normal? Should there be a... Maybe not. Maybe we just leave that alone. Whoops, wrong way. Yeah, I think we just leave that alone. Boom, good enough. Now, does that have a stroke line on it? Okay. Okay, it does. Okay, so I feel like this one is definitely improved from where it was. I'm gonna go ahead and save it as the full-size version in my district folder. And then I have my photographic open case all ready to go. So there it is. Broken and Stitched. It was titled Break and Stitch, and it performed way better that way. So I might just go back to it because I am superstitious. Dance of the Sugar Plum Kitties, Don't Wake Me. Oh, I need to. Is that the one? I don't think that is the one that I entered. Let's go back here. Oh yes, it is. Never mind. So let's change the name here to there we go. Okay, so Broken and Stitched. Let's just go ahead and change that to, no, you know what, never mind. I changed my mind again. Second guess everything at this point in the game. And then Sings My Soul. And I'm pretty happy with it, but I've been really happy with cases that have bombed, so cross your fingers for me. All right, Photographic Open is done. Master Artist is not gonna be so simple. So let's see. Let's get rid of this one. So the one that I decided to drop that went through Texas was this one, which was last year. It was titled Dead to the World, and then it was titled Focused in Faith, and then it was titled Lead Me Not Into Temptation. and it's danced right on the cusp. It's a little in merit, a little out of merit, a little in merit, and I've gotten such good feedback. I feel like it still has potential. I'm going to tuck it away for next year. I'll keep working on it, but it's more involved. The changes that I want to make are more involved than I have time to commit to right now. So since I have 5, this one's going away for until next year. Now this beast, as soon as it came up on judging, I saw 1 million things wrong with it, and it went, so of the 5 judges, it had 4 merits and 1 non-merit, and so it merited, and then it was challenged. I unfortunately was in the grocery store and I couldn't hear what they were saying, so I came and looked at it in my just in the low res file that I had entered, and saw 1,000 things wrong with it. Goodness. So I'm gonna fix that starting now. And then what is going on there? Why did I have that so close? That was stupid. Okay, so first things first, let's just grab this. Scooch it down a little. And then let's see. And then add a layer and just okay. So one thing I want to do, I'm gonna write this out, is, whoops, what's going on there? I want to blur the background more. And before I send these off to district is open, but I'm gonna send them to, hopefully a friend of mine will be willing to look at them one more time and, you know, see what needs to happen. So there were some stitching errors in here that are a super quick fix, and it's frustrating that I didn't see them beforehand. But I'm also gonna look at them. So there's some real work that needs to happen here. Okay, so I'm just gonna start at the top corner and make my way through. I'm trying to drive this like I do Photoshop. Whoops, okay. All right, this is what I get for thinking it would be super easy. All right, so first I've got this weird little light anomaly. And I made the unfortunate error to work on it significantly after. Gosh, that's hard to see. I can't see that at all. Gosh. Oh, wait. If I sit up a little bit, it's easier. Okay. Excuse me for just a second. So. Oh, I was hoping that would work. Okay. So we're top left of the house. And then how can we get the house? All right, and then we'll just have to make sure we clip up here where we're dragging stuff through. All right, does that look better? I know I'm gonna have to clean that up, but now I can. Okay, so that looks a little better. Whenever one of my images come up and they talk about it for a long time, it never goes in my favor. So as soon as I saw it get challenged, I was like, okay, she's done. She's done. All right, so for whatever reason on this, I can see it better. So I think I fixed that and that and that. Okay, there's another one here. Oh, yep, there it is. So the stitching on this, I just got sloppy, and usually I'll catch that when I run through with the levels like I've been doing, and for whatever reason I didn't do that this time. Or I don't know that I didn't do it, but I didn't catch it anyway. See, there's some stitching issues. Now before I blur anything, I'm going to, so let's see. Okay, that is okay. Waist looks different. Oh yeah, and his feet have a really strong line. How I didn't see that, I don't know. No, it is harder to see. Maybe that's why. I'm gonna raise this a little bit. I see it better over here for some reason. That stitching is super important, but it's also easy to get into a scenario like that where you just oh, look at that. Okay, that's bad. All right, so what I found here is, you know what, here, let me, my other monitor, I can see better. I can see it a different, so I don't know if you can see here, there's just a line where I had a layer that I screwed up and I didn't erase back. I don't know, I feel kind of at this point like it might be worth, what's going on here? It might be worth just going back to the last thing that was unflattened. I don't know. Let's see. So the name changed. It was originally Home for the Holidays, and the name changed to Alone for the Holidays. But unfortunately, I don't think that I saved. I didn't. Oh, I didn't save a layer. So the last layer that I have had enough changes ago that it's probably not worth. Let's take a look at it. It's probably not worth. No, and see, that's not really a layered document anyway. I mean, it's got layers, but it's not. Okay, so this is going to be more work than anticipated. How many times today have I said that? Okay, so right here, if I'd done my layers trick, I would have seen, and it would have just been a quick erase back, done. But I didn't see it, and it's flattened, and I didn't save it, so here we are. But it's not terrible. It could be worse. So I just want to minimize it. I don't have to completely eradicate the line. I just want it to cease being a line and be, you know, kind of a shadow. And then let's see if that was enough, or so for this line, I'm just gonna grab my, what is this even called? Spot healing, and make it disappear. That is pretty simple. All right, and then we'll do another check. We'll do a little bit more. Hi, okay, here's the kitty that needs glasses. This is Zuzu Bailey. She can't see you. She's very excited to be here. You guys are cozy. Here, well, wait, don't carry her by the head. There you go. Bye, Z. Let her run around, okay?
Bye.
Go take care of her.
Can I get the toilet bowl?
What charger? No.
The toilet.
Take the kitty down where she goes, and then you can get a charger. All right. You guys lucked out today. You got some guest stars. Okay, let's see here. All right, we're getting there. So you gotta keep. And then recheck, and I'll just do each one individually. I did this to myself. That looks good. So I'm not worried so much about the gift as we go. Okay, it's at least at a place, oh no, I gotta get that up there, where it's not wildly noticeable. It's not gonna draw attention. It's just kind of in the shadows. Okay, I'm gonna come over here too. That's the good side and the bad side of this kind of refining, is you start seeing all these things and you can just pick and never really finish and never feel good about it because you keep finding more things to pick at. Or you could enter it completely far away from where you'd like it to be, like I did this one. So you got options. All right, so the shadows, there's like this one crazy sharp shadow on this frame and then nothing here. So I want to correct that. And I want to duplicate this and then hide. And this is going to be, oops, okay. So I want to leave room for me to be able to erase. So I'm going along the frame, but not, you know, right on the edge. All right, and then what is happening? Why is that still there? Oh, background. Okay. Then we'll go really small and not that small. We'll go to 100% and just get those edges gone. So it's a nice kind of natural. And then I'll go even smaller and just make sure that those crispy edges get taken down. Whoops. And I could use the stylus for this, but I'm gonna be done with this in a sec. Got a little monster truck action with the neighbor. Okay, and now I'm gonna take this down to around 50. And then merge, and then we'll test it out. See if that looks more natural. Yeah, perfect. Some weirdness going on with that frame, but I don't think that's anything that's gonna. And then let's check this frame, because this one had a shadow. It had like a weird, really sharp. There's that line running along there. So let's do. That looked like it got really bright. So let's see. All right, let's go with a smaller spot healing brush. Not really. Let's do this instead. go. Okay. Okay, so now I've got to figure out what I want to do with this shadow. I might actually just, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Take the spot healing brush and run along the edge and see if maybe we get lucky. I got a little crooked there, so let's see how it fared. Because I think this might be one of those scenarios where I am obsessing unnecessarily on something that's not a factor. So I don't want to do that, but I also don't want to leave something changed that is an easy fix, because then I'll be at the mercy of guessing if I fixed it, and my last chance being IPC. Last year I went into IPC with my entire photographic open case sealed so I could completely relax. Those were done out of my hands. I was not going to break the seal. And 2 of them went lone, and I was a gold medalist, so I expect this year to be really bad. Because how often does that happen? 2 times in a row. I mean, it probably does for somebody, but that is not where I am. Okay, so first of all, I love this little shadow. Second of all, I'm gonna need more of a shadow behind that clock. It is really dark. You know what? Do we need a shadow? I'm not sure. Let's look at it overall, see how we're feeling about it. I mean, I like the shadow in the frames. The clock is kind of more deeply in the shadows, and I find it unlikely that that'll be a factor. Let's take a look here again. Because once they start looking around, you know you're in trouble. Oh, there's one coming right out from his hand, so let's see what we can find there. Oh yeah, I see it now. See it right here. So let's get a better look at it with the levels. All right. This will be tricky because it's right here by his hand. But we'll see if we can get lucky. That might, well, let's see. Maybe that's enough. And then for the ones right next to his hand, we can just kind of clone. I don't know what that is. It looks like there's like a ghost of a bird. So we don't want any ghost birds hanging around. Let's see if this is the lazy way out. Sometimes it works so much better than a lot of time. And it did. Boom. Look out. All right. All right. Let's check that out again. All right. Let's look for edges. I went and got chapstick the other day and I lost it and my lips are super duper dry. Okay, it looks like we've got something happening here and here. See, do you see how much easier my life would be if I had slowed down and done what I needed to do the first time? Let this be a lesson. Learn from my mistakes. It's like the whole, I can't see it at all, but I know it's there, so I just have to, I'm gonna hold on to it. And then I have to check because I can't. Okay, that seemed to work. Hang on, I'm gonna see if that worked. This is total guesswork at this point. Hey, you know what though? Sometimes that's all it takes. Okay. All right, let's see. We're getting bold with the old spot heel. All right. What do we think? I think it's better. All right. Okay. So this line might need to be addressed, but I think that might be it. As far as no, that was a lot. That was bold. Let's see if it paid off. It's gonna bug me though. Okay. So we're looking pretty good. It does kind of look like the tree is floating. I could not hear them. I was hoping that the audio would get uploaded, but it's not yet anyway. So I'm kind of running out of time to be able to fix it, to wait for the audio. So we're just gonna have to, I can only assume that it was one of those really obvious stupid mistakes that I just corrected. Hopefully that's the case. Gosh, everything's blooming. All right, let's check that. That'll maybe be the last hard edge that we need to fix. All right. I don't know. How do we feel about this dark spot? I need some input there. Is that something that needs to change? Are we good with it? I'm just gonna put a little blur on the background. And this might be good. Let's see, there looks like there is one more sharp edge situation happening on camera left. That might have been the one I addressed first. Okay. I think I'm unsure if I want to blur it. So let's play around. I copied that layer and we'll do like maybe a Gaussian blur. That's too much. That's way too much. Because I want the pictures, I want you to be able to see. Let's try it. I thought it would be real decisive. I have no idea. Whoa. I think that's pretty decisive. I think we'll leave it alone. I don't know why I'm saving it. Let's see. Let's save this as layers just because I've not learned my lesson. Okay. And then let's put a stroke on there. I think every single one of my images now has a 2 pixel brown stroke on a black background. Because I am basic as can be. All right, and I'm going to save this as JPEG. Alone for the holidays in Master Artist. Okay. And I'll save that full size for right now because I want to save a full size image and then have in the finals folder save them as the compressed smaller size because I made the unfortunate mistake of only saving the compressed versions of, or maybe they're somewhere, but nowhere organized or anywhere that I know they'll be. Okay, so I've got 21 Came Before Me, and So You'll Remember, that both have some work that needs to happen. So 21 Came Before Me and Still You'll Remember, they both got 2 votes for merit and 3 votes for non-merit. So they were right, both of them right on the cusp. And I kept trying to think of maybe a different title. Mostly they got it. 21 Came Before Me is a visual story of a fertility journey where she's 21 siblings that came before her, and she's bringing them with her. You know, there's an implied rainbow. She's walking out of a storm into the light. There are 21 forget-me-nots on the ground. She's carrying some more, and you know, that's the story. So I've got some work to do there. Again, I could not hear. I really haven't gotten a lot of feedback from this one, so not a lot to go off of. The few things that I've gotten, I've updated the image and pushed it on, and it hasn't, scoring-wise, changed a lot. It's been right on the cusp, so I'm going to need somebody to, I'm going to need a judge to get it and fight for it. So it's a little bit risky, but I believe in it. And then So You'll Remember is got some definite issues that I need to work on. This one originally was going to be a photographic open image, and it ended up being more intricate than anticipated. So it has become a master artist image, and one that I'm really drawn to and hoping that I can get the kinks worked out and make it, you know, a solid entry into my case. So let's see here. I have no feedback on either of these, which is a little bit frustrating. They received the same score, barely out of merit category. To my knowledge, neither of them were even challenged. So they were close. So I feel like when they're on the cusp like that, it's a little bit dicey to do a lot, because a merit's only on that day, 100's 100 only on that day, and that can kind of go either way. But I have accepted a long time ago that that I'll never truly master this, because nobody can completely, because it's all subjective, and you know, what came right before it, what's, point in the day they are. In one competition a couple weeks ago where I was the very first image of both of my categories. And I was like, well, forget it. That's not going to go well. All right. So I'm distracting from the fact that I have work to do here. I'm just not sure what it is. So maybe we start with, I'm going to duplicate because that's my go-to. Let's look at this one big on I'm going to look at it on my screen, and I know that doesn't help you at all. So I had adjusted the light color and maybe not done a very good job of it, because now I see that there is definite, gross color stuff happening here. That it's weird and attention getting, and I need to handle that for sure. Oh, that's really big. Okay, let me bring this back up and see. What I'm considering doing is just desaturating the whole background. I don't know necessarily that that's a good answer, but I think it's worth trying. I'm burning right now. I'm just gonna give this is maybe a stylus scenario. Give this a little more edge. And then another thing I felt like I could do, I could desat the background a little bit and darken it a little bit and bring the light out and blur it. I think it definitely does need a blur. Just because I say so. I don't have a good explanation for that. All right. Let's go a little bigger. Okay, so we learned a lesson from the last image. So behind her head maybe needs some attention. See how that fared. Okay. Just cleaning up the edges a little. I don't see any of the anomalies that were a concern in the last image. Maybe that edge, but I'm gonna cut the inside here and then bring it out so that none of that stuff right on the edge is gonna even be an issue. Let's try a little bit bigger here. This is super minor. I can't imagine this would be part, but they're seeing something because this one's not hitting the way it should. And I keep going back to levels because when it's hard to see, then I want to adjust it. Okay, I'm going to take that back. Okay. I don't know. This one's kind of a mystery. It's frustrating because it started out as not really being anything. You know what I mean? And then it became something that I really, really liked. And it's just not hitting with the judges. Whoops. So, I'm sure that because I ended up really, really liking it, there's something that I'm not seeing. But we'll see. We'll see if we can find it and work this out. Let's see. All right. Okay, so let's duplicate here and then let's try a blur. And then we'll erase back the foreground. So let's see here, and we'll have to be a little bit precise. So I want there to be enough information there to see that the image I'll definitely have to go and make sure that this is all. Start to see. I feel myself squinting at you, and I am sorry that you have to see that. I want the warm light falling away from her. Because the warm light should be coming from the lamp. Now, I'm definitely going to have to play with that. All right. So, oops. I'm not sure, actually. So really everything from here ought to be gone. And then I definitely don't want any of the hard lines. Because hard lines get me in trouble every time. Pretty sure this is an arm. And even though this is unlikely to cause a problem, being that it's a blur, I'm not gonna take any chances because it should be nice and subtle. Okay. Let's see now if, ooh, I like that. That's a game changer, I feel like. And that's too big. Something between 400 and 2,000. Nope. Nope. Okay. Now, what we will have to be real careful about is that there's no, they seem to have kind of a haloing. Yeah, so we could be sloppy when it was just the blur, and now we have to be more careful. So okay. All right, so is the dark worth the trouble? Oh, I'm afraid it is. That's unfortunate. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate this layer and duplicate this layer and merge the, whoops. There we go, and merge those. Okay, and then duplicate this layer, and I'm gonna save this. In progress. Late. I've got to get more creative with my with my names to know which one. All right, so pretty sure I already did this, but I'm gonna do this again because I have OCD. So this one is gonna go and let's try the easy way out first. Sorry. And if this doesn't work, then we can go back and refine. And I'm not gonna worry about his glasses. It's easier to go just a little inside than it is to just go in and add. Because I can go back and erase an edge back easier than let's see. And this is the main part. All right, so do I trust myself? Let's go from here. This is risky business right now. I'm living on the edge. Okay, you know what? First thing I'm gonna do is, what's happening? Oh, I've got extra layers everywhere. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is lesson learned from earlier today when I had a bunch of stuff have, you know what, let me check that though. Okay, still on board. Because I can always vignette the sides and the bottom if they're not working. Boy. Okay, so let me get a little brush in here, littler than that, and just refine the edges. Give his eyebrow a little tension there. And then I want to go and add some texture back in there for sure, because I think another little secret here while we're doing this edge refining is okay, and then we've got a little line going through here that shouldn't. It's so much easier to fix right now. Okay. All right, we'll keep trucking. So I'm working on the dark layer. And then let's get this. Those little details make such a big difference. Nope, because that went outside the sweater. Don't want that. Okay. So this is probably even going to be too big here. There we go. Go with 9. Hello! I'm sorry if your chat's been sitting there for a minute. How are you today? We've got a nice hard edge here that I do not want. There we go. Thank you very much. I've been working on this one. I feel like everybody's sick of the same images, and I am too. But they're wrapping up now, so should be good to go. And I have a really cool kind of creative restoration that I'm gonna do this week that I'm excited about. What are you working on? Okay, well, ask Daddy. It's probably okay. Ask Daddy. You sneaking in? You gonna say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Are you looking for a picture of you? You were on there earlier. All right, I'm just gonna erase this back.
Mom, you were watching Bob how I couldn't watch you.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I did not. Oh, okay. Oh, I hope I fixed that. All right, so we're gonna have to get back in here and erase back from the, let's see. We're gonna have to bring back that chain and the locket because we lost them. Would it be okay if I asked some photography business? Absolutely. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yes, she's very cute. And I love photography business. So hit me. I do think as photographers, it's time to be prepared for what's happening with the economy. But I don't think it's that bleak. I think we're good. We just have to prepare for it. So what kind of photography questions can I help you with today? Business questions. Okay, so I've got a dark layer, as you can see, still has the blur on it. And then I've got the blur layer and the dark layer both need to be handled. So that's what I'm going to work on here. I've got slow jams for your Sunday. And we might have to run an edge along here too, just because I'm afraid I'm going to have haloing where I've erased and not erased. You know, it would be easier here. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to erase the blur first because that will change the edge. When there's that blur on there, that'll change the edge a little bit. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Can you tell everything is blooming all of a sudden? All right. There's like a weird edge thing happening. Okay, my first question is very similar to every other question. How do you, the landscape of photography as a whole when it comes to everyone saying they are photographers? Okay, so if I'm understanding your question right, you want to know how you set yourself apart. Is that correct? That's probably the most asked question I get when I'm away on my speaking things, and it amazes me when I go to these guilds. I'm very impressed by the people who are hanging out with other photographers in their area. I don't do that. I go far, far away to hang out with other photographers. So how long have you been in business? Because I think the longer you're in business, the easier this answer becomes, because you are able to define your niche. And really the only thing that we have that we can be completely unique about is ourselves. So your connection to your client is what makes your business unique. So whatever that is, what makes you and your work different is what you need to emphasize in your marketing, in your communications, anything that is connecting you and your client. Oh, okay. So you've been a photographer for 4 years. Everyone calls themselves a photographer. Yeah, that's true. That's annoying. But that's okay. You know, there are, and it used to really bother me because anytime you introduce yourself and they say, what do you do for a living? When you say you're, like, I would almost cringe to say it because I knew what was coming. Oh, my neighbor's a photographer. My waitress is a photographer. My cousin's a photographer. Everybody is. But that's okay because we all have our different, and I'm truly not usually like this, not real like sunny about stuff like that. But we all have our things that that really make us unique. And once you get to a certain point in your career, it's really evident that you're a professional, and you don't need to say that. It's just apparent. So it is still, I don't know, it gets you feeling some type of way to know that everybody else and their cousin are photographers, but that's okay too. I'm gonna make a note real quick to clean up the edges of this locket because this will be a lot easier when it's flattened. But it used to bother me that everybody calls themselves a photographer. I'm kind of over it now. It's just, you know, it's kind of cool that everybody has an interest in that. And I hope that if everybody's a photographer, I hope they are printing too and not just digital. I hope they are preserving their work in ways beyond the screen. I'm a big proponent of that. Okay, so because, yes, it is because with smartphones to basic digital camera, take a night and call themselves a photographer. Yeah. Is it okay to pass business cards to people? It's not only okay, make it rain business cards. Don't let somebody walk past you without knowing who you are and what you do. And it takes, like, you have to get out of your own head a little bit. I think people have this misconception about marketing, that marketing and sales are like, you feel kind of slimy and you feel like you're taking something from somebody, but you're providing them a connection. Marketing is a connection. That's all it is. It's connecting people with a service or a product that they need and desire, and you can offer that. So marketing is just making a connection with your product and with you as a person or as a business. So absolutely pass it out to everybody. Give it to your friends to pass out. Give it to your mom to pass out. Just put it out there. I think that is the number one reason businesses fail, especially solopreneur businesses, entrepreneurs that are, you know, lone wolves doing it all, because they feel like they're boasting. That's not what it is at all. That's just, you know, we've got to get out of our own way and let the good times roll. Okay. All right, so let's see see if we are ready to flatten this puppy. But I will say this about passing out a business card, and this will take, if you're shy in any way, or if you're just new to this, and not new to photography, but new to marketing yourself and selling yourself a little bit, don't just give them a business card. Have a little speech ready for them that's really you, and that's really your business, and that they're going to remember. Somebody said business cards are not effective. It takes a long time to get jobs in photography. Well, first of all, business cards are extremely effective. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars passing business cards, and there's nothing, I don't care what you do online, there's nothing more effective for a photographer than a handshake, a one-on-one connection, eye contact, and then the business card. That is word of mouth and in-person connection, most effective by a long shot. Now, and I'm guessing somebody saying that is not wanting to make eye contact and shake hands and pass out business cards, because I get that a lot too. Bye, baby. Go downstairs. Mommy's ranting. Okay, come hug me. And then I gotta finish what I'm saying because I'll forget. Mwah. All right. Go with Daddy. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, as far as too long to get jobs. All right, so with marketing, you have your foundational marketing, and then you have your fun, unconventional stuff on top. And I could go off, I have an 8-hour class on this stuff. So just spam me some stop emojis if I'm going off too much. But if you are consistent with your marketing, you'll be everywhere. You'll be everywhere that your demographic is. It takes a consumer, not just in photography, consumers in general, it takes an average of 7 times being exposed to your brand to trust you, to come to you with their business, to value you with their money. So that's why people give up so much on marketing, because it's not necessarily something that you see immediate results with. You don't throw an ad online and then immediately have that come back to you all the time. So it's more you're playing the long game. You're setting up your marketing so that people keep seeing you. And if they don't need you right now, when they do need you, that's who they're going to think of. If they need photography, they're going to think of you because you've laid that foundation for them to remember you. So it's definitely not like I see people, I'm so sorry. I see people post, what do you do to get business right now? I need business right now. Get your business right now 6 months ago, 1 month ago. You have to play the long game. You have to do it in advance to prepare for your future self. You're going to need money and jobs in the future too. So get the ball rolling in the right direction now and get out there and shake hands and create your marketing plan. Actually have a marketing plan, and I can even do a Twitch stream on that if there's interest, because I speak all over the country on marketing and photography business. And every time I ask, who here has a marketing plan? And I have 100 people, maybe 1 or 2. And then I ask, do you follow your marketing plan? And then their hand slowly just put it away. So if you have a marketing plan, you're making it so much easier on yourself to succeed. Okay, and I'm going to keep reading these because I don't think that when I put it on YouTube, that you can see it. So it just looks like I'm going off about something completely unrelated. That's true, and for me, I do still find effective passing business cards, but I don't want to be misleading. I've heard so many times use social media to market my work. Often see it as a struggle because everyone is doing the same thing. That's true. And the reason people are doing social media marketing is because for the most part it's free and it's easy and you don't have to put a lot of thought behind it. But oftentimes in life, in any capacity, things that are free and easy and you don't have to put a lot of thought behind them are not going to be successful. So they are a fantastic supplement, but they can't be your only marketing. There has to be more substance behind there. Especially if you're doing a face-to-face business, people want to see you and know that you're real and connect with you. And that's something that you can't put online. But that's something that's cool about Twitch, because you can have this one-on-one connection digitally. And I hope that's an industry that grows a little bit, because I love the feedback. And it's a really cool element to our industry. But I do think there is an important place for social media marketing, but it can't be your only thing for long-term high dollar success. And I could go off about that. I won't. Okay, so I think I've got everything. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to duplicate this layer. And I'm going to, no, I'm not. First, I'm going to erase this a little bit because I want that brightness back. There we go. Now I'm going to merge those. Okay, I have a plan in photography business. I still have not found a way to move it. One of my friends told me to do free photography work and show what I'm capable of doing. So if you have a portfolio that you don't feel like represents who you are as an artist, definitely do some free or some discounted work. Be picky about, don't just do anything just to be doing it for free. Do stuff that really speaks to what you want to create, because you're going to attract people that are attracted to what you are showing them. So make sure if you're doing free work that you are gaining from it more than just practice shooting, but you're also fulfilling your portfolio in the way that you want your career to grow. And I know I say this all the time, and I've gotten mixed reviews on Twitch streamers on how they feel about this, but hands down, the best way to grow is through image competition and watching that judging and receiving the feedback and going from there. It's the most unbiased way that you can get hardcore feedback on your images to promote it. So if you're not a member of PPA, I would seriously look into joining and being a part of the image competitions and building your portfolio that way. And it's going to be a faster accumulation of an incredible portfolio than I think any other way, truly. And I get nothing for saying that. So what I might do here is just erase a little back off of that. There we go. Okay. So I think we're getting close. Yes. Go downstairs. I love you. I'm almost done. Let's see where we're at. We're at 2 hours. Okay. I have to finish before the U.S. men's national team plays soccer tonight. I'm probably jinxing them by even mentioning it, so I take that back. Okay, I do have a profile, and feedback is great. It really does. I'm honestly a little bit addicted to image competition, in case that hasn't been terribly apparent in every stream that I've ever done, ever. But it also gives me kind of an excuse to create images that that make me love my job even more. It makes me a better photographer. It makes me better for my clients, and it makes me a better storyteller. And that, seriously, everybody wins. And I am also an exhibiting artist, So it gives me an opportunity to, complete some of my exhibition work, and get feedback on it before it goes into galleries. Hey, go down with Daddy. Okay, my third question is printing pictures and passing. Yes, absolutely. Print. There's nothing like a printed image. And another thing about business cards, just kind of on that note, is to do something that makes them stand out. So either have a big oversized one, have a cool shape, have a cool texture. I've wanted velvet business cards for a long time. I don't know if they make them. They have like paper that's called velvet, but I want actual velvet on the back of it, and just because everybody will want to pick it up and touch it. So that was my idea first. But when somebody starts doing that, let me know and I will buy them. I would absolutely, yes, I have Instagram. I can't remember let me see what my name is. I think I'm Mrs. MRS Allie Elliott. I am. So here, I'll put that in chat. Please follow me. Here, I'm just gonna copy it. There it is. I would love to get feedback, and actually, if that's something that anybody is interested in, I would love to do some critique streams where it would almost be like a judging, where I would give my feedback on images, and just like with everything, take it for what it's worth and leave the rest, and everybody gets better for it. But I would really love to do that. If anybody is willing to share their images on stream and have them be critiqued, message me and we'll make it happen, because I think that would be really cool. I think everybody would benefit from that kind of thing. All right. I think we are getting close on this, and I'm excited. Is this... Okay, so I'm going to duplicate here and hide, and then let's do the levels and just kind of make sure that we're moving in the right direction. Okay. Oh, okay. Do you see what I see? We got an issue down there. So... Yep, okay. So you see right here, this jagged little line. So let's see if we can get lucky and see if... You know what? I'm going to just, that's not working. Okay, that's pretty cool, and I will give it a try. My fourth question is, how long would I be giving free photography work until it feels right to start charging money for work? Here's the thing. If you're ready to charge, make sure your legalities wherever you live, on a local, state, national level, make sure that your permits, everything are in place, and your insurance. So once that stuff is in place, no matter where you're at, start charging. Your time and your artwork is valuable, and nobody, this is my favorite quote, get ready for it, nobody will ever pay you more than you tell them you're worth. And one of my professors, my first degree is in fine arts, and one of my professors told me that as I was getting ready for a student show. And I call on that once a week minimum, because it's so important. And as artists, we're in this weird place where we're, it almost feels, you almost feel guilty for charging for, your time and your money and your work and all the effort that you've had. So don't stunt yourself. And once you are legally prepared, hit it. And you can always, what I did when I first opened up, I'm coming up on 15 years in business. So I started with my price list that I wanted to be at. And at the very beginning, I did really steep discounts, like 50%. And then after a year or so, I started phasing those discounts out. So it gives the client a feeling of that they're really getting a deal, and you're in place for all of your future pricing. So it's kind of a 2 birds with 1 stone scenario. But don't feel like you have to give it away. I would only do free work if it's going to benefit you somehow. So solidify what you want out of that. If it's, I still do, occasionally I'll do free work because there'll be an image that I want to create, and I'll get people that fit the bill of what I'm looking for. And then I'll give them a few traditional images on the side, or see if there's something else that they're interested in, so that everybody wins out of it. But I'm also feeding my business, rightfully so. Shoot, we got all kinds of a mess going down here. What is happening? Oh, okay, that's not so bad. I take that back. And I'm just gonna okay, it says a photographer give a price to the client right off the bat. So there are 1,000,001 ways you can do that. There is a very popular, and the sea of photographers that we mentioned earlier they're referred to often as shoot and burners, where they have a set price and then they give the images. It used to be on a CD or a disc, and then it was a thumb drive, and now it's just kind of a download. I would heavily suggest you avoid that route. If you want to make a career, make a living out of photography, the best way to do it is selling the images after you create them and selling them in person. So nothing online. They come to you and see what they can get, and you can sell prints, you can sell digitals, you can go about it any way. So you find your kind of cocktail of what works best for you. What I do is they pay a session fee beforehand, and that has them invested somewhat. So I'm not gonna have somebody not show up because they've already invested that amount of money. That is their session fee. That's not a credit for images. Some people will do a really high session fee, and then they've got people who've already invested for their overall image or their overall cost. And then others, there are really, honestly, thousands of ways you could do it. So what I do is I charge a session fee, and then they come in and buy what they want. And I do it the same week. I'm not one of those photographers that they wait a long time at all. Because I don't want to wait a long time to get paid either. All right. Double check that line because I can't see, so I'm winging it. Okay. Right. So, okay, I got distracted, I'm sorry. So you You could do all-inclusive pricing. I don't think that is the way to make a living. And then you could also sell products, or you could sell digitals, but again, that's not really, you're kind of limiting your sales that way. So what I have found work best for me is to have the session fee, then they come in and then they choose their products or packages. And my packages are a hybrid of digital and print. I would never sell just digital because I want them to have that image, a hard copy in their hand, so that if they print it somewhere else, they go to, not all printers are created equal. If they go somewhere else, they know what the image should look like. So it's not a problem with the image, it's a problem with the printer, and they can kind of keep the printer on their toes. Yes, exactly. So I never do just a digital file. It's too easy. And it's not always a matter of sales. I'm a firm believer to print what you want to preserve. And it's too easy to have your images and take them home and put your thumb drive in a drawer and then never look at them again. And that would break my heart to think about this art that I've created of their family, and they're never going to see it again because it's just going to be in a drawer, or it'll be lost, or just kind of like our cell phone pictures. Like, we see them for a while and then they're just gone. So I take the hard part away for my clients and I help them create what they want for their walls or in albums. This is not even something that anybody's gonna see, and I can't stop myself. Hi, welcome to chat. I've heard when it comes to telling a price to a client is to ask what they want to have done when it comes to photographs. Okay, so this is vital. This is a huge part because I pride myself on being a storyteller, a visual storyteller. So before the session, they come in for their consultation. So that's before I will even accept payment for their session fee. They come into my studio and meet me. And I want them to be comfortable with me. And I want to get to know them because every single session that I do, I want to do something that I've never done before. So a different technique or a different outfit or a different style or different pose, whatever. I'm going to have something new, and I want to get to know them so that I can have that something new be something that's representative of them. And it doesn't mean that I won't ever do that technique or pose or whatever again, but it's just something special for them. So having them come in for a consultation first allows them to be comfortable, and then we can really create what they want. This image, this fertility image, 21 came before me, this is a client image. So they came to me and wanted to commemorate their fertility journey visually. And we worked together. I had a little questionnaire and we just talked for a long time, and we talked until I felt like I understood their story enough to tell it. And when I was able to start doing these kinds of creations for my clients, that's when I really just absolutely fell in love with this job. It is just my favorite thing in the whole world, is to tell people's story. And it's like, it sounds like a line, it sounds so cheesy, but I absolutely love it. Yeah, there are some, I don't get it very often anymore because I have worked really hard to set my reputation up in a way that people don't expect that. But I also think that a lot of people, when they just want a memory card, number one, they think it's going to be cheaper. When in reality, your digital file should be your most expensive because that is limiting your sales. So if somebody has a digital, they're not going to buy a print of it too, because they can just go make it print wherever. But I think people think that's easier. They don't have to choose. They just they want them all, and then they think they'll pick later. And truly, statistically and factually, they don't. Most will go unprinted. So I try to educate my clients that I'm helping them. I'm taking that off their plate. They don't have to worry about printing it later. I'm going to do that for them. And I'm going to make sure that when I do that for them, it's quality. I'm a printer snob. So what type of photography do I mostly do? I'm a portrait photographer, emphasis on storytelling. So I'm an exhibiting artist and a portrait photographer, and I kind of combine them into exhibitions as well. But primarily portraits. So I'll do families, newborns, maternity, child, senior. That's one that I didn't really want to do seniors, just because of the stigma of teenagers. Now I have teenagers of my own, and they're really not that bad. They're much better teenagers than I was. So that's good. But when somebody comes to me and says that they have oh, I'm sorry, that is obnoxious. When they have a story that they want to tell, but they're not sure how I could tell it, that is music to my ears. That's my favorite thing to hear, because I love a challenge. Okay, I wonder if this little highlight on her back shoulder is going to be an issue. We might just go ahead and take that down. Here we go. Ooh, we got like some kind of music here. No. Okay, let's merge those because I didn't know I had something erased. No, wait, what did I just do? Oh no, which one was it? What have I done? That seemed like it? Okay, my sixth question. I love that you're numbering them, by the way. Is what to say when a client said, I can only spend $3 for a photography job, and the client can spend more than $300. I don't say anything. When they come in and say, my budget is a hard $300, and they still want to proceed with the session, that's fine. I'm going to show them what they can get for that, which minus, that would be nothing. But if they're okay to go and they understand my prices, so that's another thing at the pre-session consultation. I sit down with my pricing album that's huge and intimidating, and I show them their options. So I've got samples on the walls and samples of all the albums. They can touch and feel and hold and kind of start thinking about what they want. Most of the time, they don't get through the consultation being adamant that they're not going to spend over this amount, or they only want digitals or anything like that. They won't. Generally, if they truly have a hard budget that won't get them anything, the relationship will dissolve at the pre-session consultation, and that's fine. I'm not the photographer for everybody, but that allows me the time and mental capacity to really spoil the people that are my clients, and I think it's good to just clear the air right there. And maybe down the road I will be their photographer, but people have all kinds of different they can spend. Okay, so if they're saying that's their budget but they can spend more, if they're saying that's their budget and you suspect that is not the case. Just proceed as if that is their budget. But show them options that, will just blow their mind. Find out, rather than focusing on the money, focus on what they want. Do they have a wall? Do they have a wall that they want to decorate? Do they have, I'm in a university town, so I get a lot of people who are going to be moving soon, and big international moves. So they don't want something on their walls necessarily. So an album that they can tuck into a suitcase is often a better choice. So get to know their lifestyle, what they value, and solve what is a way they're going to be able to cherish these images that you're creating, and then look at budget. So if you zero in on somebody getting ready for an international move, they want an album, and these are your album options. So they can either stay in their budget or they can nudge a little. I would never discount. The reason I don't ever discount is because that's not fair to my clients that pay full price, that value me at full price, and I would never do that to them. So I never have sales beyond that first 2 years, which is now 13 years ago. I would never insult my full price clients by offering a discount. I'm also not a photographer for everybody. Every time I say this is the type of photography I like to do, they rip their hairs out. Yeah. Some people you just click with. Some people are crazy in love with your work, and they'll find a way. And I've had that happen many times, where people, a lot of times with newborns, they'll go to somebody cheaper. They'll have a consultation, decide they can't afford me, go to somebody cheaper, and then they come back. And so they're not only spending what they would have spent on me, they also spent what they spent on somebody cheaper, and it wasn't what they wanted. Okay, so good view of doing a $300 job is to do a wedding for the price. Oh. So my wedding price is like $1 million. I don't shoot weddings anymore. I don't shoot events of any kind. I can't even fathom the number. I can't even fathom the number that it would take for me to shoot a wedding again. And I completely respect that is that's somebody's special day. It's a huge deal. And I loved the weddings that I photographed. And the first time that I decided in 2015 to not shoot weddings anymore, I would get an inquiry and say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't shoot weddings anymore. And then I dance a little. Because that is just, weddings are a totally different beast. And what I learned about myself in those first several years as a business was that I'm a control freak. My husband might have said that he knew that beforehand, but I want to control the light and control the scenery and control the angles. You can't do that in events at all. So that is not okay. I literally made professional photographers once I told them once that I like to go, oh yeah, it sounds pretty cool, but then I tell the other one and they lose their minds. They scream, this is the opposite of what your art teacher taught you. You'll get all kinds of differing opinions, and there are all kinds of ways to make a business work and to make art work. That's life. That's okay. Now, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Let's merge these. Okay, and then, okay. I keep saying okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna duplicate this bad boy and then merge it up here so that we have one whole thing. And then I'm going to hide that and hide that. So it's the only one up there. Okay, cool. Okay, my 7th question is, how do you find your group of people to target and imply the marketing area? Okay, so this is probably one of the toughest parts of marketing for individual business owners. Because I'll say this. She says, okay, I hear the beat drop. Yeah, there you go. So as far as finding your demographic, this is tough because everybody who's been in business for any amount of time will have somebody who comes in and they're driving a Maserati and they live in like a multi-million-dollar home, and then they won't spend more than that $500 or something. And then you have somebody who comes from meager surroundings. They don't come off as what you think, oh, they're gonna drop some cash on this session, and they find it. They're savers, or they're just choosing a different lifestyle so that it's not all in front. So don't ever write anybody off as somebody that you think isn't going to spend any money, because you never ever know. That is what makes hunting down your demographic so difficult, because you don't really know. So once you start having, once you have somebody who is an ideal client, so I tier my clients. This is secret. So if you're a client of mine, you stop listening. There are 3 tiers of clients, and my top tier are the clients that I absolutely love, and they can be up there for all kinds of reasons, because I just love working with them. They're fun to work with. They're easy to get along with. They spend well, or they are going to need a photographer more frequently than another client might. And then there's a middle tier that they're people that are probably not going to come back very often. They don't have the needs that they might have at another time. So people can move tiers. They might have been a middle tier spender. There might have just not been a great connection. You're not going to connect with everybody, or if it was awkward or uncomfortable. And I'm extra, so I might be too much for some people, and it's just not working. The third tier are people that, not my clients, that I don't care to see again. that I'll be real honest, and that list is almost non-existent. There are like 2 in the last 15 years. And even those 2, I might be like, well, you know what? Let's give it a shot. But that top tier, take a look at your top tier clients and figure out where they spend their time, where they take their kids to school, where they go for sports, what they do on the weekends, where they work, and be there. Okay, I asked because my demographic in a nutshell is Mexican for the reason I'm Mexican. That's one way to go about it. That is, and honestly, a good place to start is just finding similarity. And a lot of particularly high-end photographers are not their own demographic. They wouldn't be in the salary range that they're looking at. They wouldn't live in the neighborhoods that their clients live in. They, their kids wouldn't go to the same schools. So just find where they are and be there, and then broaden your net and be there too, and just keep showing up. Because it takes 7, I said this earlier, but I swear I say this 1,000 times a week between speaking opportunities and stuff like that. It takes 7 times on average for a customer to see your brand and trust them enough to spend money on you, to value you with their time and money and commitment and all that good stuff. So you have to speed that up by being a lot of places. And then you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. And then they'll all start talking, and then life is beautiful because you're busy and you're doing what you love. And but finding your demographic is difficult, for real. That's probably the hardest. Okay, are we where we want to be with this? I think so. I can't imagine nothing is gonna be burnt. To find a similarity to the group of people, my people hang out at Food City or Home Depot. Well, I don't have anything in common with people at Home Depot because I'm not good at that stuff. But it's funny, I have had relationships, partnerships with a ton of different businesses, and like you go to like a 4D ultrasound place if you're a newborn photographer, and there are 24 business cards on the table. So that's why I was talking about earlier where you have to stand out with your business card. But you're not really gonna get, and they're probably scooping 4 or 5 into their purse, and they're never really gonna look at them again. So be somewhere unique. One of the places that I had a really good, unfortunately they didn't survive the pandemic, they went out of business, but there was a soup place not far from my studio. It's about a block from my studio on our downtown square, and they needed something for their walls, and I provided them with some images and little business cards to go with each, and it was a great relationship, and it was low maintenance because I just made the investment once, and because of the location, the geographic location, it worked out for both of us. But like, is my demographic soup eaters? I guess it is now. Cast a broad net and see who you're attracting. And if you're attracting the wrong type of people who can't afford you, or people that don't want what you're wanting to offer, then recast over and over and over again, and you'll find that there are a lot of surprises on where your core base is going to be. And I just talked all the way through this. I think that we're in good shape here. So cool. So we're down to 1. And here I thought this was going to be a super quick. Never. I'm going with my usual here, my 2-pixel brown stroke on a black background. I hope the judges are feeling that, because that's all of them. Okay, and I had a note here to clean up the edges of the locket, so I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to flatten and duplicate. It's just something my group of people go for to get things or buy something, unless I go to a Filiberto's. I don't know if I said that right. Probably not. That was my Southern Indiana coming out. It's a restaurant that I could attempt to pass business cards. Yeah, I went, when I first got my little studio on the square, it was 10 years ago, and we had just moved to town, so I didn't know anybody. I had to completely start over. But because I had taken on that rent payment, Mama was ready to work, and I've had what felt like a ton of pressure on my shoulders to make it happen. And I had young kids at the time. I have 6 children. At the time I had 4. And while a couple of them were in school, I packed up the others with little backpacks and stuffed them with business cards. And I shook the hand of every other business owner in the whole square, and then so I started the square, and then like broadened it, just trying to make connections. And most people were like, bye, whatever. But I'm just a handful of those. And that started to grow. But it's that personal connection that's so important. Thank you. I'm going to read this out loud. I'm looking at half your Instagram pictures, and they all look pretty awesome. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm getting a little worried about the you look like you're. No, so that's just my eyes watering. I'm not going to cry. My cat, although she probably injured me in the very near future or just before that picture, because she is violent with her claws. But okay, my 8th question, that's my favorite, is what's the realistic picture of somebody making it as a photographer? Your success as a photographer, I firmly believe, is 1,000,000% correlated to your effort. I don't know what making it really, I don't know what that constitutes, if there's a number there, but I firmly believe that photographers are capable of making high income and living beautifully balanced life with some effort, and also at the beginning with persistence, because you're playing the long game for sure. It's not an overnight thing where you make a ton of money immediately. It feels like it at first. I've always, I picture this graph. Maybe I'll make a graph someday, because when you start, everybody's like, your pictures are awesome, you should be a photographer. And then you feel really good about it. And you make a little bit, you make a few $100s off of it, and you're like, hot dog, this is easy money, let's do this. And then you get to a point where you recognize what you don't know. And then it's a little bit scary, and you're down at the bottom of the pit, and you aren't sure if it's going to work or not. But then you rise up out of that, and you get your business stuff together, and you organize, and you can make an incredible living. Yes, I absolutely believe. I was in a group it started off as maybe 24 women, probably 10 years ago, where we wanted to be 6-figure photographers. And there are, I think, 6 of us now, and we are way past that. So it is not only possible, it's highly possible. It's honestly, it's the best job there is. And I thought about something I said on stream the other day, where somebody was like, I just need Twitch to be my job. And I was like, yeah, that would be great. Me too. And then I was thinking about it later, and I was like, I love my job. And if I became independently wealthy from Twitch or the lottery, equal possibility of that, and I don't even play the lottery, I would still do what I do. I love it that much. So that's a pretty good indication that I'm in the right business. Now, there are a lot of businesses that don't make it, but I honestly think that it's a matter of persistence and continuing. Yeah, I do think it depends on, and I will say it's a lot of work. Whoops. It's a lot of work. So you have to have a certain level of confidence, and you have to, why are my hands so shaky? No, that's terrible. Why did I do that? Does that look shaky? You have to keep at it, because I think we go through these cycles as photographers where we're in, and then especially with marketing. Marketing, I think, makes or breaks a photographer. I truly do. Because we go through these cycles where when we're in our busy place, I think the busy season is a myth. Everybody says the fall is the busy season, but I think that's a myth, because we, when we're all in our busy seasons, and the money's flowing and the clients are everywhere, then marketing is the first thing that we put on the back burner. And then we come to the end of the busy season and start to panic. Like, where is all the new work? So then we start marketing. And if we just have a base of marketing and plan because we have a marketing plan, then that takes that lull out of it. And your busy season is met with another busy season. And there's no slow season because you've continued to market. And my busy season is on year 7. And I'm not even like exaggerating. Oh, okay. 9th question. Is it okay to have a side job to bring in money while getting photography going, or drop everything and attempt to see if one can make it as a photographer? So I do think that, I mean, we have to pay for gas, which is becoming harder and harder and harder. But I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping the stability of another job while getting our grounding as a photography business. I think that's a great idea, because you can pay for your marketing efforts. Like I was talking about earlier, it's not something that pays off immediately. There's time to building your name and building your brand and your reputation. So I think that's perfectly fine. In fact, I encourage it, you know. Okay. When doing photography or videography professionally, your technical and artistic skills don't matter too much. It's much more about you marketing yourself and how good you are with people. I agree with that. I've seen a lot of mediocre photographers make phenomenal living. And I've seen a lot of really incredible artists pack it up and give up because it just wasn't happening, because their business sense or their marketing just wasn't doing it. And it's such a shame. But, you know, it's not for everybody. You do have to want it. It's not something that is just easy. Yeah, and how good you are with people. I'm amazing with people. Just kidding. Super humble. I do think that's a skill, though. That's almost like a technician. You can learn it. Although I will say I'm not in any way, shape, or form introverted. So if you're introverted, maybe, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. Because when I go and I'm doing my speaking things, I have one that's hands-on marketing where I help people learn how to sell themselves in person without it feeling slimy or salesy or anything like that. And you can tell the introverts as soon as because I have a part where people get up and they actually physically talk to the person next to them, kind of sell themselves. And you can immediately pick out the people that did not know what they were signing up for. And they're like looking for the closest exit, but hoping that I won't talk to them on the way out. Okay, let's dodge here just real quick. Okay, so, all right, let me get my 10th question here. Should one listen to every photographer who gives a photography business idea to no? Oh my gosh, no. There's some bad advice out there. Not from me, obviously. No, for real. There's really bad advice out there. And not only that, but there are a lot of different ways to make a living at photography. There are a lot of different business models. There are, a lot of different demographics to consider. There are 1,001 ways to do it differently. So not everything is going to connect with your business, with what you want to do. What is going on with this thing? And that's the cool thing about being your own boss, is that you get to decide what works for your business and what doesn't. And at the beginning, that's kind of hard to take that stance, because you're feeling like, well, for one thing, you might not know yet. You might not even know what you want your business to look like. But also just to feel like you might do it wrong. So sometimes it takes trying stuff on a little bit to find the right fit. If that makes sense. All right, so I just want to give a little shape. On Twitch photography community, there is this toxic thing that people compliment each other way too much. If you show up with a piece of garbage, everyone will be like, wow, that's nice. It's not good for learning. It might give a false sense of your own skills or photographers. That is not a Twitch specific problem. It's all of the internet. It's, you know, it's like our moms are out there telling us that we're doing a great job. Facebook, you're not going to want to judge photographic quality based on number of likes or anything like that. That's why I'm such a huge proponent of competition. And I know everybody's probably like, oh my gosh, shut up already. But there are few ways to get true, unbiased feedback. And that's one of them. And that is as concrete as well, I can't hold Kitty right now. You're gonna have to keep Kitty. You gotta be careful because Boston had that door open. Don't let the cat escape. Is he back in? Is the dog in? Okay. Making sure the cat doesn't escape. I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. So when you're getting advice, whether it is artistic advice or business advice or anything, take note of who it's coming from and whether or not they run a photography business, run a business at all, are driving the kind of business that you want to see yourself have. Because it's not one size fits all. So find a person or a business that you respect and get somebody to mentor you. Get somebody that you can ask questions to or follow their guide. There are a lot of photographers that sell workshops and a one-size-fits-all approach. And then you see these testimonials where people, you know, have made millions of dollars following this, and they've been successful following the same formula. But that's not going to fit everybody. There are other ways to do the same thing, other roads to take to get to the same destination. And to have somebody that can be honest about your technical and artistic abilities is, I mean, honestly, there's nothing more valuable. My husband and I met in art school, and he was the toughest at critiquing. He was the meanest at critiquing, and he is to this day my greatest asset. And if he even says like an image is like okay, then I'm like, bam, we got ourselves a winner. Listen to people who also tell you the bad stuff. If you never hear someone say anything bad about it, then they might not be the most trustworthy source of feedback. Absolutely. And I used to, when I was in art school, and truly I was one of those people that would like sugarcoat it, and I would tell you things I like about it and sandwich in there the critique. And that's okay, because there are redeeming qualities in most things, but that's not what's going to get you to your endpoint faster. And I love efficiency. So let's just get it done. I would love to have a critique day. Why is that acting weird? Okay. Where I give feedback. And if you're going to do that, then make sure that you are thick-skinned enough to be okay with hearing the negative. Because I have lost a little bit of the sugarcoating ability. All right, I think this is in a good place. I've got no clips, no blown spots. Okay, let's do it. We're down to 1. Save this as a JPEG now. Get it ready for So You'll Remember. Okay, 11th question. What is some of the struggle one comes across when making a client feel close before a photo session? What's some of the struggle one comes across when making a client feel or like loose, like comfortable? So I'll answer both just in case. I am chatty. In case that's not painfully obvious, I like to talk and I like to hear people's story. So I ask kind of leading questions that get them talking. And then if there's something in there that I can pull a similarity out of that helps them feel connected to me, then I will bring that up and we'll talk about that too. And just help them feel like they know me too. Because for me to be able to tell their story appropriately, they need to be comfortable enough to tell me their story, first of all. So before I go any further, here's my photographic open case. Boom, done-ish. I'll probably look at it again. And then here is my master artist case. Boom, almost done. Cool. All right. My earlier comment doesn't apply to relationships. If your wife's ass is something looks good or not. It's not a real question. Yes, that is true. I will say that that is a test my husband has failed a time or two. Hey, I'm going to call you LB just like somebody else did because I don't know if it's a little bass or a little bass. I'm going to assume bass. But in my head, I was saying bass, like the fish. Making client feel comfortable and ready to do a photo shoot. Okay, yes, so I think I already answered that actually because I, just in talking about, I prefer to keep the mystery alive, yes. Well, now you have initials, so just talking to them and letting them talk. And honestly, a kind of like a quiet, kind of introverted client is like almost like a challenge. It's usually, I'll say this, it's usually the dad that doesn't want to be there. That it's, you know, it's his wife's idea and he's just along for the ride. So he's not into it, he's not excited, but I want it to be a good experience too. So I want them to have nice memories of it and not just the pictures, which the pictures are cool. You know, obviously that's the most important part. But not the only. LB got a new computer today. What'd you get? You don't have to even answer that because I won't know what that means. I have my husband buy my computers. I do really like this one though. But I think that is also an acquired skill to be able to make people feel comfortable. And some people it might come, oh yeah, see, I don't know what that means. I know ACES. That might be a Southern Indiana way to pronounce it too. I'll critique whenever. You guys message me on Instagram or I don't know, is there messaging on Twitch? I'm still new. How long do I get to say I'm new to Twitch? Before people are like, because somebody I think already said like, you're not new. You should know this stuff by now. But I'll do it whenever because I've got a cool photo restoration to do tomorrow. And it's not really a restoration. It's a creative restoration. We'll go with that. Okay, so I don't know why this. Oh, good. I'm still new. Sweet. I really don't know why this is not hitting home with the judges. So when My 12th question is, how do you pick the right gear to do a photo shoot? Well, you'll get a whole wide range of answers for this. I'll tell you this. I would never photograph a woman or myself with any lens shorter than 70. Because nobody wants to see that. It's very similar to what's happening right here. See my giant hands? I don't honestly change gear that much. I've had the same 2 camera bodies for like 14 years. One's a backup, one's a main, and I just switch them out every once in a while so the other doesn't get lonely. And oh, you got a gaming laptop. My kids would know about that. That's exciting though. So I have basically an in-studio lens and an outdoor lens. And I've kind of gotten away from, oh, it's a laptop. It says, oh, I read that as laptop. I have a desktop now too. This is the first desktop I've had in a long time. No, it's not. It was just the last one I had was an all-in-one. And that's what I wanted again. And I was being really stubborn about it. And I can't let my husband know that I actually really like this setup because he picked it. And I was pretty convinced I wasn't going to like it. So, shh. But anyway, I used to use a longer lens for outside to get like a nice rich bokeh, but it's not very often that I do that anymore because I've kind of merged into being more environmental, and I like to have a little more focus, deep. But if it's a portrait, especially a female portrait, longer lens the better because it's just more flattering. I don't really know what to do with this one because I like it. So I'm struggling with why anybody else wouldn't. It's hard to get past. Okay, it's good to know because I've heard from different photographers the gear doesn't matter when it comes to picking gear to do a photo shoot or pick the right gear to do the photo shoot. I mean, I guess too, it depends on your editing skills. Because I feel like I could edit almost anything. I also shoot JPEG, which a lot of photographers now would like hiss at me about. But I learned on film, and I feel like JPEG is closest to film, and I trust myself. So I don't want the extra step. So here we are. I'm gonna get hate mail. Okay, so let's. And I'm just kind of messing around because I don't know what to change. Oh, you know, I actually kind of like that. It's popular to say gear doesn't matter, but it matters a bit. I don't know. It's popular. I actually don't see that very often. I see most people say that it does, but truly, like, my gear is a little bit out of laziness too. I'm getting texts about the game already. Is anybody else gonna watch the soccer game tonight? Lenses matter more than the camera body. Ooh, that's a good debate. I'm gonna be real honest in that my camera bodies and my lenses are a little bit junky. They're not that impressive because I am a creature of habit, and I tend to use the same, like once I'm comfortable with it, I will use it until or it dies. Whoa, what just happened? That was probably bad. Okay. I love that people are chatting, by the way. You guys have made my day. Sorry for misspelling. I have to go to me. Thank you so much for coming in, and don't worry about misspelling. You spell however you want to spell. You can text spell. It's different if you're body. Actually, my both of my camera bodies are. I can't remember if they're 12 or 14 years old. They're old though. What are some tips when it comes to marketing on social media? Well, it depends on which platform. It's kind of a beast. Instagram is decent because... Oh, I'm missing what you're saying because of the chat delay. Side note, who's playing? U.S. men's national team is playing in World Cup qualifiers tonight. And I would like to see a win because that would make my heart rate a little more even. But they tied Mexico last Thursday, and it was a good game. If you want to shoot weddings, use Instagram as portfolio. If you want to work for companies, use LinkedIn. Right. There, depending on what your demographic is, you're going to have a different social media presence to focus on. And if you don't know, oh gosh, I don't even know. If you don't know for sure what you want your niche to be, well, and another thing is too, like, families are right now on Facebook. That's where the moms are. The families that are going to be generally in a place that has an expendable income. Generally speaking, a lens upgrade will have a more noticeable effect on the image than a body upgrade will. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying now. Unless your body's like really, really old and you upgrade to a new body, or you upgrade from a really entry-level body to top of the line. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. That's true. Oh, the Oscars are on tonight. I'm gonna still watch the game, but I will look at the dresses tomorrow because that's the fun part. Is this always when they are? I thought they were in January or something. And the U.S. men's national team, by the way, is playing Panama. I don't even think I finished saying that because I got all excited. Okay, so I did a little more a gradient situation. I think I like it. But I'm not sure what I like anymore on this. So how's that? Yes, they tied Mexico and they played in the home arena. And yeah, so there are so many injured players right now for the U.S. men's national team that, like, I was nervous, especially playing on Mexico's home turf. So I was really pleased with the tie. And there were some nail biter moments. It was a good game. I hope tonight's good. They play Panama tonight, I'm pretty sure. So get your snacks ready. All right. Let's see. Let's do a little experiment here. You guys are all here for the music. That's what I heard. Bring that beat back. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's 6:40. Okay, I gotta get out of here. You guys have been so much fun. Okay, no clips. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to quit messing with this and call it. I'm kind of pumped though. I'm glad to be, for anybody who has helped me out on these, I really appreciate it. Whoops. And it's been fun to have company. Okay, using Instagram. I have mixed answers when it comes to using Instagram. I'm still kind of new to Instagram. I've only been on there like a year or something. Please follow me. I'm not too proud to beg because I'm old. I'm an Instagramma. U.S. will win playing against Panama. It's very easy because they don't have a game. I hope that you were right, but I'm not going to dare say that and jinx it because the U.S. men's national team has a history of not doing what it seems like they should be able to do. Oh, thank you. Okay, I might remember you saying that. Yes, I was at the beginning. It's much easier when there are people on here. It's easier to not be talking to myself. But I really appreciate the feedback because it's so fun to have that interaction. And it's tough when I started off, I wasn't sure what people, I was kind of just doing the presentations that I do. I just realized I didn't stroke that. The presentations that I do for businesses. And, I don't think people care about that. But I had some work to get done more recently. So this was... There we go. All right. Let's try that again. So it's been cool to get my work done and then have feedback shout at me. No, I'm so grateful. I like it. I'm so grateful for your help. LB is keeping me relevant. He's making me relevant. I'll get there one of these days. I'm done now. You guys got me where I needed to get, and I really appreciate it. So I've got my Master Artist case ready to go, and this will not be the last time. Did I go too far on that? I might have gone too far. I'll take one more look at it. Thank you for being here and for the feedback. 21 came before me. Alone for the Holidays. That was a beast. Build a Ladder to the Moon, which was the dark horse, and So You'll Remember, which ended up being a lot more work than anticipated. And then Photographic Open, Broken and Stitched, Dance of the Sugar Plum Kitties, Don't Wake Me, and then Sings My Soul. I'm gonna go get chapstick because my lips hurt. Oh, Mexico, my country, has more game than Panama, for sure. But then again, U.S. is well known for following what's whiteboard. However, they're playing... it's interesting, isn't it, to see how the dynamic changes with the big hitters out. But I would really, really love to see Christian Pulisic and Ricardo Pepi. And then there was somebody else. They took Ricardo Pepi out for, Gio Reyna. He's finally healthy again. To see those three in there at the same time would just be like youth. And I love it. I hope Gio has some runs like he did the other night. But I'm going to go get ready. I'm going to go get my comfies on, watch some soccer. Thank you guys so much. Seriously, I really appreciate it. If you want to be a part of the image critique stream, message me on Instagram or here. I don't know. Is there messaging here, though? I don't know if I'll find it because I don't know what I'm doing yet. But thank you so much. You guys have an awesome night. Take it easy.
That's why you my mommy. Please.